Welcome to yet another exciting episode of MEDIGO Round. And as always that I say, we're going to present interesting facts. The first fact for this week is going to be interesting. I'm going to ask you a question. Want babies? I know you heard it right. If you want babies, avoid being a night owl. And what do I mean by that? It's very simple how to not be a night owl. Let's check. For women who want to conceive, stop staying up at night because every time you turn on the light, it reduces the production of fertility hormone. You heard it right. You turn on the light, fertility hormone production goes down. Melatonin, a hormone secreted by the pineal gland in the brain in response to darkness, is important when women are trying to conceive. It is the darkness that is needed for the brain to produce melatonin. This study appeared in the journal Fertility and Sterility. Back to my question. Want babies? The solution is very simple. Stop being a night owl. And how do you do that? Sleep at night. But in case if you have to stay awake, just make sure that you don't switch on and switch off the light on and off. Because every time you turn on the light, it reduces the production of your fertility hormone. Next, we have something even more interesting. Let me ask you this. How many of you skip a meal a day? I'm sure most of us do. You may be leading a fast-paced life and there are times when you have to skip a lunch or a breakfast because you have a very important official meeting. But let me tell you, skipping even one meal a day can cause serious repercussions on your health. Whenever you don't eat, your digestion becomes erratic since your metabolism gets reduced whenever you starve yourself. It also weakens your body, thus making you feel tired. So when you skip a meal, you experience something called as hanger. Not hunger, it's called hanger. What's hanger? It's the emotion of being angry when you're hungry. I'm sure most of you would have experienced it, but you just don't know what to call it. Here it is, it's called hanger. It's very simple. If you skip a meal, it can land you in a very bad mood. Let's go back to the start of what I was speaking. You have an important meeting, you skip a meal, you go for the meeting. Imagine ending up in a bad mood when you're in an important meeting. So best thing to do, grab a quick bite before you go for your important meeting. It saves you bad mood and helps you perform well. Let's talk about something that everybody would love to have. A flat stomach. Men would love to have a 6 or an 8 pack and it's flat, and women would love to have a flat stomach that they can flaunt. Now, how do you get a flat stomach? Very simple. You might want to remove one ingredient. I would not say remove. Let's reduce an ingredient from your everyday food. And what's that? Salt. Common salt that you use in your everyday food. Reduce it a bit and that can get you a flat stomach. I'm not joking. This is serious and researchers have proved that. Let's go into the details. Cutting down on salt intake and focusing on potassium-rich fiber can help in getting a flat stomach, says an expert. Too much salt in the diet contributes to edema and bloating. Stick to the recommended 1,500 mg of salt intake a day. Don't put salt on the table to add to your dinner and limit the amount while cooking. Here you go. You have the most simplest and easiest way to get a flat stomach. You have the answer. Reduce salt and you get a flat stomach. With this, we move on to the next topic, and that's even more interesting. It's a question, in fact. Why are you not losing weight? I ask myself, I have a lot of dietary plans that I follow. At the end of the day, I stand in front of the mirror and I'm like, why am I not losing my weight? It's very simple. And some of you might have a doubt. Am I cheating on my dietary plan? No, you're not cheating. There are some common mistakes that we make, which contributes to the overall effect of not losing weight. So let's look at some of the common mistakes that we make, which stops us from losing weight. These mistakes, if you understand them, would help you answer your own question of why am I not losing weight? At the same time, give an explanation to some of your friends who actually point their fingers at you saying, hey, you know what, I heard you're on a diet, but I believe you're cheating because you're not losing weight. So let's do this. Let's have a look at some of the common mistakes and understand what they are. Let's look at the first one. Overeating healthy food. We all have a tendency, when we find healthy and nice food, we tend to hog a lot. Now that's one of the reasons why you don't lose weight even though you're on a diet. Moving on to the second reason, skipping breakfast, a very common thing that happens with most of us. You wake up late and you're in a hurry to get to work, you skip breakfast and you say, okay, let me have lunch. But let me tell you, skipping breakfast really puts a lot of pressure on your health. It actually makes you bloat. Now let's go to the third mistake, not practicing portion control. We do say we are on a diet. It goes to me as well. At times I say I'm on a diet, but I don't stick to the portion that I'm supposed to eat. You go a little above your portion that you're supposed to eat on your dietary plan, you tend to bloat up. Fourth grave mistake that we make. It's common with most of us. What do? You are in a hurry, you're living a fast-paced life, you're in a hurry to get to your work, you grab a plate and you start munching while you're standing up or while you're walking. Don't do that. That stops you from losing weight because when you stand and eat, you tend to bloat up. Fifth grave mistake. I call it grave because everybody does it. Not sleeping enough. True, when you don't sleep enough, your dietary plans don't work because you tend to stay the same or even bloat. So get good sleep and follow your dietary plan. That's when you lose weight. Moving on to the sixth one, overindulging in low-fat food. Now we have a tendency, you have a dietary plan and you say, okay, let me consume less fatty food. But when you overindulge in low-fat food, you tend to not lose weight. Seventh mistake, another thing that we commonly make, taking less quantity of vegetables. You tend to eat a lot of meat and fish and things like that, and you kind of forget about the vegetables. When you have a dietary plan, make sure it's a perfect balance of veggies and meat. That's when it affects your body. So now that you've heard 7 mistakes and you're very well aware, these are the reasons why you're not losing weight, even though you're on a dietary plan. You can make a difference now. Don't make these mistakes, follow your dietary plan, and you will be in shape. I'm sure most of us have seen it everywhere. No smoking, tobacco kills. The campaigns are everywhere. There's a World Tobacco Day. There's a lot of things that is being done to stop smoking. There's something important that each one of you should know, especially those who smoke. 1 in 4 smokers with gene defect may get lung cancer. Researchers have proved that, and let's go into the details and find out how it is. Smokers in general have nearly a 15% chance of developing lung cancer, far higher than in non-smokers. Results show that some smokers with BRCA2 mutations are at an enormous risk of lung cancer, somewhere in the region of 25% over their lifetime. Now that you heard the facts, I'm sure you would understand that as a reason why everybody says no smoking, tobacco kills and stuff that you see wherever you go. So I would suggest quit smoking. Take one thing for example. It says 1 out of 4 people with gene defect may get lung cancer. Imagine 4 of you were sitting and watching this show and all 4 smokes, and if 1 of you have a gene defect, you're most likely to get lung cancer. Think twice before you smoke. Quit smoking. New research suggests that heart attack during middle age may be tougher on women. Women who have survived a heart attack before the age of 55 tend to face more complications over the coming months than men do. Studies have found that 1 year after their heart attack, women tend to have worse physical functioning, poor mental functioning, and a lower quality of life than men who survived their heart attack. The next topic has an emotional touch to it. I'm sure every day when you switch on your television, you see heart-sinking news about small kids being ill-treated, sexually abused, and raped. The way the world is going, it really puts you in a lot of grief. Studies have shown that more than 12% of kids in the United States experience beating, neglect, sexual or emotional abuse. Researchers have found that 1 in 8 American children, somewhere between their birth and 18th birthday, will be maltreated. The study, published in JAMA Pediatrics, used information from the National Child Abuse and Neglect Data System child file. 1 in 8 is the number in America. It just doesn't stop there. It's happening everywhere. And everybody's aware of it. Let's make a difference. Protect your children and protect others' children, just like they're yours. That's the only thing that we can do to create a better tomorrow. over to the next topic, I would not call this a topic of interest or fascination. I would rather call this a warning to all you men out there. That includes me as well. How many of you use a cell phone? Or let me put it the other way around. How many of you don't use a cell phone? The number is going to be very minimal because we cannot live without a cell phone. That's how life is nowadays. Men who carry a cell phone in their pant pocket may harm their sperm and reduce their chance of having children. Studies have proven this. The research team analyzed the findings of 10 studies that examined how cell phone exposure may affect male fertility. Among men with no exposure to cell phones, 50% to 85% of their sperm had a normal ability to move towards an egg. While the study found an association between cell phone exposure and male infertility, the study was not designed to determine a cause and effect relationship. Accepting the reality that we cannot live without a cell phone, the best thing that we can do is, and this goes especially to men, avoid putting a cell phone inside your pant pocket. You can either carry it inside your coat or hold it in your hand. Let's keep it away from your pant pockets. Pink slip. Who is not scared of pink slip? I am, and I'm sure most of you working class out there are scared of the word pink slip. Pink slip was never an uplifting, but a new study has found a pink slip is a bigger downer for an American than a European. Let's look into the details. The study of more than 38,000 people in the United States and 13 European countries found that Americans are prone to developing depression if they become unemployed compared to their European peers. So the best thing to do is concentrate, focus on your work, be professional, and give your best while you're at work. And that's the best way to avoid one of the biggest downers. It's a big downward trip called pink slip. Pizzas, hamburgers, waffles, French fries, name it, everybody loves it. But there's another risk factor to it. Stuffing yourself regularly with pizzas, hamburgers, or any high-fat food puts you at risk where you would lose your sense of smell. This is a warning from researchers. In a study examining how high-fat foods impacted smell, neuroscientists from Florida State University found that high-fat diet is linked to major structural and functional changes in the olfactory system, which gives us our sense of smell. You heard me right. You have pizzas, hamburgers, and high-fat food on one side, and you have a sense of smell on the other. It's up to you to choose which one do you want. You heard me. Throughout this episode, we have gone through flat stomach, we've gone through diets, we've gone through cell phones and the harmful effects, even the first one. You want babies? You heard me. Avoid being a night owl. With this, we come to the end of this show. And with this episode, it's Pachino signing off. Until next week.